Okay, what are you doing? What's up, it's been a while, so thanks for having me back. But now we're going to have some fun. You're going to hear amazing people from all different types of things. So, again, let's have some fun. And the first person on my list is the awesome
Thanks so much for this. It's awesome, and I know that most of you guys have been here over and over and over again, and you know everything's going on. Yes? Almost, right? And then some of you have not been here all so often, so you might know a little bit about things, right? Well, what we do is to help you a little bit here, and understand you want to do and not especially if you don't know exactly what's going on. And so we got in mind when we do it, if you want to give our story and go through, and I'm not going to tell you a whole lot of things that you don't already know. All I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of bring it to you very front of our mind. Is that a deal? Okay, so here's what we thought about. Did everyone here? Down at the bottom of this, and it's still better.
There you go.
Oh, it is. Okay, would you guys all agree that there's a whole group of people that people are like, and they have pretty much everything institutionalized. I mean, they have education, right? This is going college. In fact, it's not even a matter of if they're going to college, right? They also have business ownership. And they might start out working for somebody else, or be really people in their own business. Yeah. How about financial services? This common goal they have the money to do that. Absolutely. You know what? I have a friend, and I haven't talked to him in a lot of years, but I still remember he and his wife decided one day that they were going to go to England to watch the play and fly on that. This is financial freedom. You guys do. Yeah, pretty much. And how about financial advice? Financial guidance, financial advice. The financial advisors love what? Or love this person, right? Because it's all money. So they are looking at this and pretty much this is. And then we've got this other group of people over here called the not so wealthy or financially dependent, right? But they thought it was good, government paid for it. In fact, not only do they have free preschool, a lot of times they have free schools as well. College grants, if they say go to college, as long as they qualify to go to school, they're going, right? How about financial support? They have a food stamp, cow, all that kind of thing. And how about opportunities? They've got lots of different opportunities. And this is really good because we don't want a whole segment of our population like that, right? There's a big challenge here. There's a really, really big relationship here that I like calling America's Apple, or all the rest of it. It's also called mainstream. This group of people might be a person who makes $30,000 a year, it might be the person who makes $300,000 a year. But if we can't come and go as we want, if all of a sudden when we lose a job, we're going hell, we're in big trouble. I'm pretty much in this group of people. No? Well, let me ask you a question. Do you have access to those things? Let me ask you a question. How much? Do you have how much cost to take care of people? it's really expensive. I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and they told me it was $1,000 a month for client. And I told them, I was told you to do it. I said, no, we don't. But we do it well. You can give us some tips so that our tips and you okay. Also, don't we learn to go in college? We qualify for grants. That would make loans for them. They do this all so what backwards, right? And they got some college. They don't afford something. $120,000 yet. You want to do it? Okay. About business ownership. What if we all love and do this? You know, $500,000 in our business and saving this long enough. That's success. Not the $500,000 living in it. Saving this long enough to make success. So if we can't get you guys, so we work really hard to get a paycheck and we work with somebody else. How about financial advice? The financial advisors come to our house. They would, if you have $250,000 in there. But if they're not going to get paid for what they do, I really don't. Not only that, but if you have to look at things a lot of money. So we work on all these things. And we don't. And what we want here is we are conscious. We don't want conscious to say this from this people. Well, this is a living discovery. You know what? Think about this. Who do we go to pick our problems? Don't we go to what we know? Don't we go to like banks and lenders and insurance companies and corporate America? Where the banks are to get wealthy? The insurance companies there to protect us from the really? Is that the lenders there to get us protection? So that's how we get nobody to go to. And the problems still, we know problems still. But the biggest problem is not going to be that it doesn't even become personal until it's true. If you guys, everyone in this room, when you walk into work tomorrow and do your job, would this whole scenario be real all of a sudden? Amazing way. She not only understands all of this, Unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way, right? You look at our bank accounts and I know I think that's really nothing, right? I don't remember the day when I was like, oh, this taxing, and so glad. And so what we said is we must press the tax. Yeah, that's what we do. And the feeling is how to do it. Because what we said is, okay, we know that something's going on in life, right? There are local people out there. There are people who get taxes and so we'll just step back and say, let's look at how they money. How do they do it? How do they create money? And let's see what we can learn from them so we can apply it to others. And we boil it down to four things. The first thing is, there we go. That what we people lock in the base system. They make sure that there's customers, right? They make sure that there's money available for the next generation, so that if something happens to grandpa, the whole family is in money. They make sure that they're established. They have habits to go by. Within I was talking to Shay with my own leader, and he said that his father taught him to invest starting at age 14. Can you imagine if you started investing at 14, how much money you could have today? And imagine, we were saying to him, well, you're going to teach your kid at age 7, right? So if we start establishing those habits early on, we're creating habits that we can actually build. The next principle that we realized was that they secure advancement of the next person. Unless you're a wealthy person in the banker or an active stockbroker. For the most part, you actually pay someone to watch your money, right? They know that when they're sleeping tonight, no matter what happens in the world, either the money's going up or if there's a price adjustment, someone is protecting us. Someone is helping us. And the fourth principle we realize is that they let us keep helping. So when we talk to people at the top, when we talk to people about it, we say, what happens in your world? Well, because what do you do? This is what it says. I get on the phone and I call emergency meetings with all of my advisors, right? I call my lawyer, and I call my accountant, and I call my financial advisor, and I call my business partner, and we all get in the room together and say, okay, how are we doing? But for most of us in the world, what do we do? We smile, right? We close the door, we hunker down, we hide until it's all over, and then we connect, right? When we're like, oh, it's all okay, got it, I'm all good. And we've got a great thing from it, it's a great way to practice because we do more together than we can. We start to say, okay, how can we actually start to learn how to develop these strategic partnerships so that we're working together? And he said, and if we're going to do this, and the other thing is when we have to find a partnership to be able to bring the tools and resources of the wealthy to make these work. And so we partner with him. And I think everyone in this room has partnered with him. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, we've heard from him. But did you know that Chimera is a $2 billion company? That's a big number, right? Now, that number is important for a very, very, very certain reason. And it's important because a company with that much money can afford to create the products and services that you need to sell. If they didn't have $2 billion, if they didn't have enough money, they would be out there serving the wealthy people to get more money. Right? The other thing about America, which is what we do here, is actually the track record of delivering to families. Since 1977, America has been developing products and services for these families. So they really understand the concept. So we said, we're going to find a partner to work with in order to make a difference. We're going to make sure that that partner has enough money that they're going to stick with it and they're going to really understand you and I, the people who need these products and services. Yeah. So how do you do this? I have to have this great analogy that I like. If you ever look through a magazine and you talk to someone and they show you like a $10,000 living room, and you're like, you can this living room for $500. So you get something like this, right? And you're like, cool, my bedroom is my living room looks just like a living room with the stars. And you're like, cool, you know, so we basically need to do that, right? We need to come up with a solution so we can have these principles, but in a way that applies to us. I don't know about you, but I don't have $1 million to put in my credit card, right? And that's the deal. But what I can do is I can take out an insurance policy. So if something happens to you, something happens to Brett, we know that there is a chunk of money that our kids will have and that they won't fall back. Just like what we talked about in the previous class. We talked about establishing habits to build up. One of the things that we say when we look at the wealthy is wealthy people make money, they figure out how much they're going to save, and they spend money. The rest of us make money, spend what we got, and save. Well, maybe it wasn't less than good money. Yeah, I don't know. See, that was like fun stuff. You had no reason, right? So what we need to do is we need to start establishing these habits to build up. And what we have is a product like mutual. We can start putting this $25 a week. And I have a lot of people saying, that's not a company, but it's going to fit in the company. Because it's like $25 a month. How much easier is it for families to say, and now here's the deal from families. How much easier is it to say, the salary on this position right now is bigger. $1,200 a month. That's their money. But you can't sit there, right? Another person say, oh yeah, I can get $2,000 tomorrow, right? You're all shaking your head. That's very bad. Are they subtle? Right? And that's the way you can do that. Establishing habits to yourself. Now, it's not about carrying an every direction. I used to say, we don't get access to the who really is it, right? Even in America, it's like democracy, it's like access to the country. And America said this is fair. Because normally you need $240,000 to have access to access. And that's what you do. Like really managing it. America said, we're not paying for it. And we're going to create a product for the energy account that you can use to which is dangerous. Most of the folks that we talk to who have $25,000 have different banks for their life. And with inflation, they might as well burn in the pie 2% of that money. Brett talked about when he was younger and someone said, if you saved $1,000 money, and you didn't touch it, the next month you have $1,000. Right? And if you didn't touch it for a whole year, the other year you have $1,000 for it. Well, Brett talked about that example when he was talking about children. But I think about that example when I think, in 10 years from that day, Brett thinks he has $1,000. We know that $1,000 is useful in moving, right? About 70%, 60% of what it pays for when you first get that $1,000. So now, with that is in the account, we can actually put our money to work for us and come back for it and do it. And for our last one, we're talking about money and partnerships. And that really goes back to what we talked about. Turning to America and turning to our advocates. Right? The reason that we're in Tuesday is because someone said something that inspired us. And in most cases, it's a question. Right? He's really dedicated so much to this cause, to what we're doing. And the only way that we can support that person through the message is to understand what they're doing and what they're doing. And so we're teaching and we're focusing on how do we start to develop a network. Whether you're living in America or whatever you're doing, how do you start to develop a network of people so that you really have a heart for people where they are. So what we know is that if you follow this plan, and everyone in this room should have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, that's a really bad plan. Yeah? Okay. And the other thing is, if you have a plan and you don't follow the plan, that's a really bad plan too. But we know that if you have a plan and you follow the plan, that you can get financially secure financially. You can have the confidence that you'll be able to protect yourself. You'll be able to have the money you need for retirement. That your family won't fall backwards from one another. And we have talked about financial freedom if you were that. Get my bottom line here. No? Not good enough. Okay. She talked about financial freedom. Well, what we know about financial freedom is the idea of having time and opportunity, right? Apparently, it's the idea of being spent on Canada hungry. You can play for a weekend. And if you follow these four principles, you're going to be able to get financially secure. But it's really going to take future generations to get financially secure. Which isn't the bad news, right? If we can follow the plan, and we can teach it to our kids that are working in 14, and to our grandkids that are investing at age 7, we can know that our kids can be financially secure. So this is really for you to get on. Some of us would say, if some of us would say, these generations, that's good. Well, what can I actually do in this family? Right? Well, what can I do so that I can help this country to get closer to the country? And I'm going to bring up my fabulous husband, Brett, here, and we can talk about that next part of what we're
How you guys doing?
I know.
So, I am so excited. First of all, thank you guys for being here. It's funny as we're sitting and this meeting's been unique, right? For the last couple of months, I think we've met like once in 2 months, right? On a Wednesday night, and we're getting back, and it's one of those things where when it comes, they remember, where our address was, and, there was a lot more people invited because all your GPS worked, so thank you for that. But it's really kind of a beginning.
of what's in front of us. And there's a lot of kind of fun modifications that are coming down the line. You know, we're not going to be here next week, and then we're going to be here in 2 weeks, and then we're going to go back every Wednesday. There's an opportunity to do it. It's time till we gather up and experience. It's time to go build something. But what Alan talks about is the ability, right, this one generation thing, right? And I love this conversation. We have 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds, and it's so fun to hang out with them, spend time, and you spend time with my youngest, right, Ty Hill, talking about, every car known to man. He sees a beautiful car and he starts crying. We had a funny experience. We were walking in our house, and there was a couple in front of us. There was like a 9-year-old girl and a 5-year-old girl, and the 5-year-old girl had a 9-year-old pony. And we walked right past a gray, like a chocolate gray, amazing, brand new Corvette. I mean, beautiful, right? All this stuff. And the girl, like, and Rob and I look at each other and go, that's the difference between boys and girls. Like, my boys would like to take a picture, like all this stuff. The girls are completely oblivious, right? Right? So I love this, and they're like, man, they want these cars and all this stuff, and right then they're going to have an amazing life, and their kids are going to have them, and that's great. But I kind of think that'd be fun for us too. You know, like that sounds kind of fun, the ability to do what you want, who you want, manufacture the style you want it. Right? Like I want my kids to be great, but this one generation, they really speaks to me because I think it'd be fun to be free. So we said, okay, well, how do we do that? Right? Well, the only way to get free in this country is going. That's it. Or with the lottery, or be about 6'8", you'll slam a basketball, right? And play with the Thursday jump around, right? So all sorts of things. But besides those things, it's going to come down to ownership. So we said, okay, if this is the reality, how do we do it? He said you would get right ownership up here. We've all talked about it. I've met very few people that are like, I never want to own. Everyone wants to own. Right? Everyone's been yelled at by their boss and go, man, I can do what this knucklehead does. But that's only the idea. Right? The reality is, in order to make it happen, you've got to be able to access that spirit. Now, look, step one is you've got to have something inside you that says, man, I don't want to be like everybody else. Now, I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying at some point, there's that's what it's going to take to get free in America. Right? The ability to leverage the support system. Why? Because the person, the guy that wants to be everything to everybody will usually end up being nobody, nothing to nobody. Because we cannot do it. And a lot of times it comes down to ego. It comes down to, I want to be that expert. I want to be that. Why? Are you more interested in getting stuff done? And then at the end of the day, most of us when I started, I was 22 to $24,000. The only thing I knew about money that didn't happen. Now, I was only making $1,000 a month, but I was at least surviving on $1,000 a month. I couldn't come to a meeting like this and go, man, this is fantastic. I'm going to quit my job tomorrow because I like food. Right, so the question is, every one of us are at a different basis. If you said if today was about, man, we got the greatest opportunity in the world, we got a $2 billion company, there's 70 million freelancers, we got the greatest opportunity in the world, this is great, all you have to do is give up what you're doing right now and come do something you've never done before, with people you don't know what you do, an environment you're not sure, it'll be fun. What's the likelihood of attracting the best people possible? We sat back and said, if we want to grow, for us to be the best, one of the things we need to be able to do is we need to be able to attract them. We need to be able to attract people that should be with it. The people that say, man, I got the opportunity to do a bunch, but this is where I choose to because I want to get part of something bigger than myself. And so that path is critical. So tonight, I'm going to talk to you about literally the most successful businesses to be an incubator in the next week. Because that's what we're going to get. And people go, well, what is an incubator? What is that? Well, right now, how many of you have smartphones? Right? How many of you know apps that come out, right? Right? The startup world right now, they got these incubators. They got a bunch of people that build successful businesses, people with money, and they get them to my job is to make sure you're funded, and that you take your idea, you put it to work, we can navigate the mistakes. Well, the Primerica's been doing this for 35 years. We've been attracting people that have never been in business before. And said the only thing you and I have is a desire to be a part of something bigger that wants to be able to make it different. And we're going to show you, we've got a $2 billion company whose checks never bounce. That says you do work, we will pay you no matter what. We will take care of all the administration, we'll take care of everything. And we're going to have a team of people that can navigate us through these things.
This incubator system has created more six-figure earners and more listeners for the company in American history. We are not trying to figure this thing out. So you sit there and go, wait a second here. Why are we talking about this? Well, there's a one generation path, and it's going to come down to business ownership. Business ownership is half of it. Knowing how to navigate the mistakes and navigate the problems, that's the other half. And that's why our system is able to do it. We could have the largest problem in the world, and we could have a great delivery system, but if you and I don't know how to stay in business, and we don't know how to be profitable and successful through the challenges, we won't be here 3 months from now, or 3 years from now. And so those families that we could help, we can't reach. So we said, no, we're going to change the system. And so we said, look, how do we do this? What is this about? Well, see, the path of main series says, look, for us to be able to have the system, we need a couple things. Low capital entry. What does that mean? I didn't have $100,000. If they would have said, here's the greatest opportunity in the world, you would need $100,000 to go into business, I said, well, can I manage it? Because I could manage it, but I said no. And my mom loved me, but she wasn't giving me money. But we sat there and said, wait, if we could avoid that, we could attract the best. We're building a business to attract the best. Not the folks that consider people entitled. So the people that have that fear I talk about, when someone asks me, who are you with? My answer, we all have different answers, but my answer is people that have maxed out their opportunities, but they haven't maxed out their capacity. Because I know a lot of people who make the top of what their job is taking, but they're worth so much more than the job. So man, we can find people that are maxed that out because they get up and they say, I'm going to take advantage of every opportunity I can, and I'm going to look for my job. That's what we do. The problem is, money to be able to do people's stuff. We need to be able to have a partnership platform. Primarily what God is partnership. It's about letting the financial services company be the expert in financial services. It's about letting the support company be the expert in support. It's about us being the experts in growing and developing real estate. We said if we could do that, then it's okay to be an expert, but we can be an expert at what we might do. We can be great people and say, man, let me help you do this process. This is our people. And at the end of the day, we talk about how to capital return. Look, there's not a great concept for the industry. Right? This is about profit. We want to have an opportunity because if I'm going to put this time and energy, I've got to make sure that it's worth it for my people. So primarily looked at it and said, if we can create low capital entry that with a leverageable partnership system that had high potential returns, we could attract the best of the best. We could attract people that never thought of being financial services, but they've always wanted to own. We could attract people that never thought that they could help people who wanted to make a difference in somebody's life. We could attract the people who wanted to make an impact and wanted to make a profit. And that's really what tonight does. You've seen our income. You know no one's coming. Our job is to grow our business. We need, right, there's 12 of us in a room. The best part-timers working 3 hours a day, maybe. That's 10 to 15 hours a week. Look, we're helping 20 families a month. Well, what if we have 3,000? Do you think we can help some more people with 3,000 people? So the reality is what happens is we sat down and said, what is our business about? Do we understand that our business is about a support system? See, we are professional recruiters. My job tonight is to be a professional recruiter. See, we need people in our lives that say, I understand the support what you're doing. What you're doing is important. And if I know anybody, right, but even more than that, out of work. Right? Everyone's like, oh, you want to work. I've never asked for it. Why? I always laugh when I go, and that's not to say you shouldn't, I get them out. So why? Because you don't want to give them. True. I don't want to call them. True. And they don't want to get the phone call. True. So why would I build a business on 3 empty minutes? He said, but you know what I want is I want you to understand and support. Anytime you come around going, hey, how's that going? I'm proud of you, man. You're fighting a good fight. You're doing something different. If everyone in your world understood and supported and just told you that you believed in you, do you think you'd be stronger every day? See, that's the first thing we want to do. Now, the flip side is we love advocacy. I don't want referrals, but I love recommendations. I love being the type of guy who. I meet people all the time, they're like, hey, yeah, Bill told me I need to talk to you. Why? Because he wasn't totally sure. He just thought we needed to know each other. Oh, man. There's nothing better than that. Because that person might not do the business, might not want to be a partner, but they can be a platform to tell our story to one more man. To make an impact to one more person, and recruit one more person to us as an ally. with the opportunity to move on to an aptitude. Because what if your cousin had the wrong insurance, or wasn't saving any money, or didn't know how to get out of debt, or desperately wanted to make an extra $500 a month, and they were hard entrepreneurs and just needed a culture to grow? The only way we find them is because you understand what we're doing. And then some are going to want to come through. If again, this is a great idea, well, I need to know, this is a great idea, but I think I want to be a part of something different. You see, one of the things that we sat down and looked at this week, one of the things that we sat down and looked at was, okay, if we said, look, there, you know, we said we need low capital leverage, we need a support system that's leverageable, and we need high return. It'd be irresponsible to talk about an opportunity incubator without a support system without those things. Well, it costs $2,000 to get licensed in the state of California, compared to $100,000 with $2,000 low capital leverage. Yes, compared to your checking account with $2,000 low capital leverage. No, see, there's a difference. It's all perspective. If I go $100,000 or $2,000, well, I guess $2,000 realistic. If I say, write me a check today, they're like, America says, look, it costs the company $200 to do an FBI background check, plus all the rest of the license. So you split it. You put $100 in, we'll cover the $100 background check as long as you put license sold, we'll get the license, we won't pay for your license. Now again, there are people that say $2,000 compared to 100 is low capital, and there's some people that go, based on my checking account, 100 is still not low capital. Yes, it is. Certain things aren't too expensive, we just can't afford them. And if at this point in our life we can't afford $100, you need to hang out with us because we're opposed to money. Is that a fair assessment? Right? I don't care if you're 18, right? At 18, we should, right? Is that fair? Right? Our support system, we've already talked a lot about that. With the high conversations. Well, our business is built, and Robert and I were working on language, and I'm having fun. But I have this sentence that we talk about. You guys got to help us because we're kind of working with it. But I have this concept that says there's a place for everybody and a role for all of us. See, it's one thing to say, hey, everyone can come. Everyone can be a part. That's true. But we talk about the fact that we have allies. Our allies understand support. Isn't that a role? Right? Yes, there's a place for you. You're not going to do anything except tell me good job. But if you're my ally, you better tell me good job. Is that asking too much? We got our advocates. We want them, they're the people on the street. They're our recommendations. They're recommended. They're the people that get emotionally involved and say, look, this story is important. It needs to fall to the right people. People need to see it. We all have heard, we've all met people, we've all heard something that stirred us, that we started a conversation with somebody else about, that we didn't have financial gain or benefit, but we were emotionally tied to the outcome because we believed in what we were doing. Well, we believe that those 70 million people stuck in the middle, that's a problem and it shouldn't be that. But no one else is coming to that position. And then there's going to be some that say, you know what? I want to be part of helping people. I like that 2 generations, 3 generations thing makes sense, but if they're in shock and this is for me, how does that fit? What is this incubator? What is this premise? And we explain it. We have all our kinds of them. We sit down, we want everybody to understand what we're doing. We're not ashamed of how we grow and how we talk, but we believe that reason to talk is for reason to serve. We believe that it's good to talk about freedom and opportunity and choices in our lives. And somebody to understand the possibility of what's going on. There are 10,000 people turning 65 years old every day for the next 19 years. The average person starts working at age 22, and at 67, their Social Security check is $1,269. That's a lot of people. That's a real problem. And these people are the first generation ever to have a 401k. Their parents. They have the future. They're happening in life. But no one in the financial services industry. And now all of a sudden they're getting ready to retire. And they got tons of money and no idea who talked to or what they do. And in my opinion, it's all those people that are going to show up to spend it. And what they need is an advocate. They need someone who grew up where they grew up, who struggled with what they struggled with, and learned things that they didn't know, and say, hey, I got access to some of the best resources on the planet. And so we created a position we call our gathering. There are gathering at partners. These are not people that are interested in building a business in America. But they're like, man, if I got licensed and I just help just consolidate and at 55 years old, got $1 million a year for 5 years, $5 million. Our part-timer would make $1,500 a month. So $1,500 is good. You all agree? But it's $230 more than Social Security paid after 47 years old. And it changed 20 lives in 5 years. That's the income. But I would love telling you, here in the story, I just want to go through this because it's easy to lose perspective, right? Because we're going to talk the numbers and people figure out front. But one of my favorite stories is a grandpa and a granddaughter walking down the beach. And there's the starfish all over the beach. And every once in a while the grandfather's sitting down and throwing the starfish in the water and just talking to his granddaughter, just kind of going through and having it. And all of a sudden the granddaughter comes and goes, Grandpa, what are you doing? And he goes down, he bets down, picks one up and goes, well, these starfish take too long. And on the beach here, if they don't get into the water, they're going to die. And she goes, Grandpa, there's thousands of them. What are you going to do? And he takes the starfish, he throws it in the water, and he says, that one made all the difference in the world. Guys, that 20 to 18 years ago, I came here and said, man, I want to bet my life on this thing and we go for this. But I've had hundreds and thousands of people who came in part-time, stay with us for 6 years, 2 years, up 3 years, 10 years, 50 years, and then decided in America we wanted to go on a different path, and they still love what we do, but the impact of those families are still there. See, that's an unbelievable opportunity to say. That's the reality for those families that are all over the world. We're going to have some part-time. Some people love their job. I have a lot of teachers, they love teaching. But one of the decisions you make when you teach is, I know I'm not going to make enough money. Now, we can have the argument that teachers should be paid more money, right? But it doesn't sell well. Guess what? Teachers are never going to make enough money. But you know what? We need great teachers. What if we can show a teacher how to make extra $1,000 or $1,500 a month, and we could keep them in a classroom, and we could help them change the education system and really be passionate, but make sure that their financial security was in place by helping somebody else? That's a part-time person that says, man, I love what I do, but it's just not enough. We can leverage the support system to get it done. There's going to be some that want to be part-time and want to get to full-time. Some of us are not good employees. Some of us, if we have a boss, they tell us what to do, and we want to tell them what they should do, exactly how they should do it. We can ask them for an extra hour. Well, look, we can't put ourselves there. We can put a path together with 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years from now. You can get your licenses, learn the skills, and develop the marketing. You can transition from what you're doing. There's no fear. It's not about walking off a ledge. It's about building a business and a support system to get you free because we need entrepreneurs. And then there's going to be some we call our team owners. Some folks that say, okay, tell me about this one generation stuff. You said earlier, I went on a statement earlier and said the only way to get free in America is through ownership, and the reason is because owners have multiple income streams. They've got passive income, they've got rental, they've got profit. Now, Rob and I talk about this because there's like a different way to explain this, and this is the serious version of it, but this makes sense to me. See, I go to Panda Express one day after the vacation, right? It's one of those things. Panda Express, the only thing Panda Express has to do to not have me eat at least twice a week is no. As long as they don't poison me, there's a really good chance I'm going to eat Panda Express. They don't have to do anything except completely not suffer. Does that make sense? So I am the definition of fast food. They don't have to do anything. I don't care. I was in San Diego, we got it. I was in Northern California, right? And we almost went when I was in Maine, but I didn't. It was the one thing, so I couldn't do it. Right? But then, look, passive income. Now there are people I know, the manager of this one over here, we talked to them, like they're always doing, Tennis Trust is always doing, like, school functions, and they're doing things, they're trying to drive profit, they're trying to get people that have never been a Fan Express to come to Fan Express. Right? The work they do this month creates their revenue. And then Fan Express says, the owners go, hey, we got one in Valencia, we got one in Stevenson Ranch, we got one, and they just keep opening outlets. Because they understand that the passive income and the revenue are driven by the local office, and the profit goes through them. That makes sense? That's why they have the opportunity for freedom. Multiple things. Most of us understand at least one of them. Most of us don't get paid for the work we did in our job 5 years ago. Is that fair? And most of us don't get profit from the company that we work for. Some people are like, well, I get profit sharing. I get 1.5% of the annual after all the expenses and everything else. That is true. There are profit sharing. We understand the things they're sharing and stuff they're willing to give you. If you put it all in perspective. Is that fair? We all understand that. You show up to work. You don't work. Sooner or later, you won't. Well, if you are working, as a regional vice president, if you have $15 million in assets under management, $100,000 a year. If you have an organization that has another $30 million, $30 million. That's good. We're in this company to do this amount. So listen, that's an additional $100,000. I would pass it in the first every month, but then you get $15,000, $50 in the first of the month. If over the next 5 to 6 years, you build an organization where you help people, so there's 10,000 people, 35, and all they do is say, I know some of the smartest people in the world that can give you access to information around you. You think you can even find people who can $200,000. If you build a room, they have 30 things, lock in the same thing, establish their habits, that'll pay their Argentine $12,000 to $15,000 of monthly revenue. If the world wants to do that, that's $400. See, this would be a really good system if I said I want you to work for me. So you come in to help find connections, and you come in and help the family, and you'll make some money, and I'm going to make $400. Sounds good. Okay? You guys don't like me, right? You don't want me to let me make kids are amazing! My kids should have a great life! We'll show you how to make a couple $1,000s a year, and that'll be fun, and I'm going to make $35,000 a month, and I'll tell you about it. In fact, I'll show you some pictures every once in a while. We're going to do. But we all understand the system. Here's my friend America do what it does. We are the most successful business incubator this country's ever seen. Because we understand that there's 70 million families that are stuck, and we can't get to it alone. So we said we have to have a line goal. So my job isn't to turn anyone in this room into great salespeople. That's not our job. We need outlets. We need offices. My job is to promote and teach people how to become regional vice presidents. I teach people how to start here and go through this process so that you get this shit. You want to spend a couple of years with me? $400,000. That's awesome. I do believe I am nice. But for every nice person that helps 15 families offer them established average in an organization, you get a $6,000 a month average bonus of $72,000 a year. So if you develop one, it's 72. If you develop two, it's 144. If you develop three, it's 200. If you develop four, it's 280. And over the next 5 years, if you develop five, that is half of what you're doing. That's $350,000 a year. So over the next couple of years, we do this, take care of our family. So we show 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 high on average, that's 15 minutes. There's 70 million families that we have to take. Support system behind you. We don't have to have to give us 2 other systems to program the not the different things. But again, whether you want to just kind of gap,
So you want to be entrepreneurs, you want to do something special, you definitely have to do it. And we live this. Why are we doing this? We're here because no one's going to help you. And whether it's one, whether it's simply the choice of you recommend somebody previously and 3 months, 2 years from now, that you need the place. So you say, man, there's somewhere on there's a place for everybody in our life. And what is going on? God, this is what we do. And we want everyone in our life. Can I kind of be Can I kind of I would say, if you don't have a plan, you need it. You can't, if you get one somewhere else, you feel a little comfortable, go somewhere else. But if you can't go somewhere else, then you should get it from the first place. Nothing else. But there's a space on here, this man, this is where he goes. We spent the last couple of years building something, right? And we said, when we go through something, we go through something, but guess what? September 30th, what I want to do is we are going to stop. We're going to stay. We're going to stop. We're going to stop. Because that's what you get part of it. That's what you do. That's what you're part of it. Thank you guys for coming. Guys, hang out. I'm so excited, right? But we'll be here Saturday morning, 9 to 11. Features, we're just hanging out. Got a lot of good things that are going on. And we're really looking forward to join us back on the 3rd. Even if you're going to do this, just come back and see some double sides. Just for fun. And then come back the next week and see some double sides again. Because you might be shocked at what's happening when the right people do the right message at the right time in their life. And they say it's time to do success. Whether it's now right now, or in those who have to do it. Thank you guys for coming. Have a nice night. Thank you. Oh, I have one thing. I have one thing before we get to the done. I want to make sure you have to stay together. And then knocking out these lights, unbelievable victory! Congratulations.